Hello everyone, Sunset2, welcome to another comparisons. This time I'm gonna have a few focused around fabric mods. Maybe in some of the different categories like tech, magic, storage, redstone, and other bits and pieces, or I might just sort of combine them into a few videos just in case, just to sort of show off a few for those curious or those that want certain things in certain areas to try out or have additional benefits. So yeah, I've gone through any that I can think of that sort of fit a technical sort of focus in this one, whether it be redstone, machines and processing, any ores that you can find related to it, storage and certain stuff like that, and sort of just put anything I can together. I might add a few if I can think of any, which I think there is a few I could. And I'm not going to obviously cover every single one because I don't remember all of them, but there is obviously quite a few that cover different areas. So yeah, and if I cover any that are magic related, I may or may not mention it and then sort of probably put it in its own video. So yeah. But first off, we'll go with, I guess, what I just newly added. Just another Redstone Gate mod, which adds in a bunch of different gates. So you've got the ability to use AND, NAND, XOR, XNOR, or NOR, NOT, long repeater, multiplexer, and majority gate. You've got options there for sort of sending or activating certain things whenever and using the gates in particular contraptions. You've got Arc Ratio, which I think is supposed to be more so a magic mod, I think. But it does have some aspects of machines, I'm pretty sure. We're just going to say the mod vest entry here. It says a magic mod based on production enhancing abilities, so it's kind of, I assume, obviously more so magic focused, but then kind of some processing-ish, but I assume for like making or using mana and certain other bits and pieces. And then the zoomer kind of takes things in a magic and crafting sort of way. So I'm not going to cover those too much. Or something like composing and otherwise, for example. Drones, not so much, but kind of fits, I guess, technical aspects, but it's obviously just a drone. So yeah, we'll move on to the next, which is Wynette, which is pretty much just a fabric port of XNet. So if you're familiar with how that works and you want to use it for some bits and pieces to interact with inventories, you've got this as an option. And it is compatible, I think, with the following here, inventory or machines and other bits and pieces. You've got TIS 3D, which there is a fabric version for 1.14 here you can find, but there is also others that I've got somewhere, I think, linked on my fabric forum threads, which I'll put the link to those in the description of this video at least. We've got Link Storage as an option for pretty much having ender chests of sorts, similar to ender storage and other types of mods that do similar things, that have obviously different colored channels. You've got a pouch also that you can use to access things as an item, and so on. You've got CC Tweaked for Fabric, which I assume adds pretty much about the same as the last version that was made for 1.14.4-ish sort of period that this was made. Obviously not much has been updated since, as you can see here, or at least for what's been ported to Curse Forge possibly, which might be the case. You've got Industrial Revolution, which is a new one. It simply adds a bunch of different machines. You've got generators, ores, cables, you've got 4 tiers of upgrades to upgrade them to. You've got solar panels, you've got a tree farm type of block, you've got a miner or quarry type of thing, so yeah. As well as a focus on trying to maintain them if they overheat, because if they are hotter, then they process faster, even without speed upgrades. But obviously you do have to maintain the heat by using a heatsink or a cooling solution of some kind, like a fan or the in-between being a cool cell. So there is a focus on maintaining heat, as well as obviously using typical upgrades and You've got obviously speed, you've got a buffer, you've got power capacity, other such stuff, so there's that. You've got Biomechanics, which is also a type of mod that adds in certain bits and pieces, but is more, I guess, body or organ focused. So you pretty much need to use the machines in a way to sort of make the network keep going. I like to compare it to Prodigy Tech, which is obviously more of a hot air type of approach. But here it's obviously body focused. So pretty much use the sort of cables that you would have, or blood vessels, I'm pretty sure they are, as your cables. You'd have certain machines for using organs that you get from mobs to then put them into the machines and then sort of create a working network or system. So yeah, and you do have like a pulverizer or crusher or furnace and such, but you do have other machines that are for using the organs, which will be the stomach, intestine, and lungs, I think, as well as the heart. For your network, and you're mostly going to want to wrap the blood vessels around and kind of make a cycle of sorts, or a circle, I guess, in a way, technically, because sort of mimicking the circulatory system, I guess. Yeah. You've got Greenstone Circuits, which is a programming-focused mod, I'm pretty sure. So, I guess if you wanted something for a modern version that's maybe similar to CC Tweaked, but obviously not exactly the same programming language, because it uses a different one in comparison to Lua. So there's an option there. We have Funky Force Fields, which adds in a bunch of force fields as well as other stuff. I haven't looked into this one myself, I have yet to still. I guess this is a bunch of cables, a bunch of different blocks, and it maybe could be used similar for light bridges or something, besides just force fields from blocks or certain other bits and pieces. I'll have yet to take a look at this one. You've got Underpowered, which simply adds in a bunch of blocks that you can use for either, I think there's a furnace, but other than that, instead of processing stuff, you're mostly trying to use this similar to a gas equivalent exchange, where you've got like a certain amount of things you can recycle or so, and you then convert that into a material, obtainium or something, and then you can then convert that into anything else you want. So if you want to remove your stuff and then convert it into other things, probably use something like that. So there's a generator, furnace, and a few other bits and pieces like that. You've got Vanilla Automated, which is also a more recent one, which adds in block breakers. You've got places, crafters, a crusher, timer, a net, a fishing block, cobble generator, magnet, nullifier, and more. I get to still check this one out. You've got Tenall, which is discontinued, but you pretty much could, if you wanted to, use it simply as a way of having different cables to connect power, and it definitely works with Tech Reborn. So there's that, along with adding in a few ores to then make some of these components. You've got Kebe, which, well, not exactly that tech focused, adds in similar to Vanilla Automated with a bunch of different blocks for things. So you've got an entangled chest, similar to Link Storage and otherwise, but with more runes for the channels. You've got Cursed Dirt for mobs, you've got elevators, you've got vacuum hoppers, you've got slime blocks and slings, and there's a bunch of other stuff, such as rings, lassos, kibes, conveyor belts, spikes, and more. So useful stuff for redstone, mob farms, other possible cases. So there's that. You've got Slotlink, which is pretty much a storage network type mod. It adds in obviously cables, and then you've got those to either find out how many inventories are connected, or you can obviously request or search or do other bits and pieces. You've got mechanized steam power, adding in a steam focused sort of approach with a miner, crafter, armor that can add different abilities to them, or have different abilities added to them, I mean. You can make a drill powered by steam. There's quite a few different things you can do with it. There is obviously also a book and certain videos as well covering how you can do it. Otherwise, we've got refined machinery, which is a more 114 era version compared to the 115 and 116 we'll be looking at, which adds in pretty much fairly similar, but adds in obviously some wireless power connectivity. You've got a lava generator, you've got an exchanger for exchanging out blocks, you've got an elytra-like sort of experience, you've got a quarry, you've got your furnace, your pulverizer, crusher, and certain other bits and pieces. I think a few alloys and other bits and pieces here. And then obviously you got Tech Reborn, which everyone obviously has experience with the cables, a Greg Tech-like approach with different machines, blast furnace, nuclear reactor, a bunch of other bits and pieces, rubber, fusion, I'm trying to remember all the things because there's so many. I'm trying to remember. But yeah, a lot of different focus on ores, alloys, other bits and pieces. Otherwise, you've got on the redstone side of things, composable automation, which adds in rotators, lamps, chutes, graded hoppers, other bits and pieces for planting, dispenser-like functions, and more. And I think that's about it. The only other thing I probably didn't cover was VM computers, which is obviously a mod that allows you to use virtual machines, or VirtualBox specifically for doing the virtual machines, along with actually ordering a PC, getting the components, putting them in the case, this, that, and the other, and then trying to use a virtual machine as the means to get it inside the game and use, say, an old or even recent Windows or Linux or whichever operating system you put an ISO for, and then you can use certain things you would use in a virtual machine inside the game. So it's a bit technical, it's quite cool, but yeah. Otherwise, I think that's about it that comes to mind. There is a few more that I probably missed that I'll maybe put in another part, or other things we'll cover, but for now, thanks so much for watching, and goodbye.